This week I want to share the story of another woman, a woman who was born in regional Australia where she now lives and works as a qualified health professional. She's asked to remain anonymous and I'll refer to her as Laila. Laila's a Muslim, as is her husband and 10-year-old son. She doesn't wear a veil or a hijab. She gets to know her clients quite well. She works with them closely, often over long periods of time. They get to know her quite well. One day, late last year, she was attending to a particular client who she'd worked with for about a year. Her young son was in the room. He had a day off school. The client was fine with that. During the session, Laila and the client got to chatting, as they often did. They had a good, cordial relationship. Toward the end of the appointment, the conversation moved on to the approaching Christmas holidays. The client asked Laila what her and her family would be doing for Christmas. Laila replied politely that her family were Muslims. They don't celebrate Christmas, but they were really looking forward to the holidays. Then out of nowhere came a response. You know, if you wore the hijab, I wouldn't come and see you. She was lost for words. And as though to emphasise the point, the client added, actually, you know what? If you wore the hijab, I wouldn't even let you in through my front door. She was being told that regardless of who she was, regardless of the relationship she had with her client, if she identified with a particular group, this person wouldn't want to have anything to do with her. Laila's mother wears a hijab. Her sisters wear hijabs. Why on earth should wearing a hijab make any difference to the relationship that they had? Why on earth would it make any difference to anyone? She was acutely aware that right throughout this, her son was watching it all. What does she say to her son when someone's just told her that it doesn't matter who you are, if you're a visible member of a particular community, they don't want to know you? Mr. President, that's what Islamophobia is. Now, as much as we like it, we can't stop every person from expressing racism and bigotry. We have protections in law, and we have an opportunity in this place as political leaders to actually show some leadership. Every time people reflect on the Racial Discrimination Act and say that it's not necessary, or talk about banning burqas, or link asylum seekers on Nauru and Manus Island to terrorists, they give people licence to express these hateful views. We need to make it clear that there is no place in the Australian Parliament, indeed within the Australian community, for racism and bigotry. That Islamophobia has no place in Australian society. Our job in this Parliament is very, very clear. We need to make sure that everybody in this nation understands that they are welcome here, that we are a nation that is inclusive, that celebrates our diversity, that welcomes people from all around the world, those different cultures, those different nations that have sought to come and make Australia their home. If we are to remain the most successful multicultural nation on earth, it is incumbent on each and every one of us to stand up and to speak these truths, to ensure that when members of Parliament express hateful and bigoted views, whether privately or in public forums like we've seen over recent weeks, that we stand up loudly and clearly and say racism stops with me.